Unfortunately, our long-term colleague, Councillor Maloney, has very sadly passed away. And as we want to show our respects, could I please ask that we stand and have a minute's silence for Councillor Maloney. Thank you. Apologies have been received from Councillor Barbara Murray, Co-opted Member Anthony Boyle and Chief Fire Officer Phil Garrigan. Are there any further apologies? No. Can I ask, are there any declarations of interest in relation to any item? And agenda item 3, the minutes of the previous meeting held on the 6th of June 2024 are contained on pages 5 to 8. Can these all be agreed, approved? Agreed. Agreed. Thank you. Okay, we move on to agenda item 4, Forvis Mazars, Merseyside Fire and Rescue Authority External Auditors. The Audit Strategy Memorandum 2023 to 2024, pages 9 to 48. Mike Ray will introduce the report with Simon Livesey, also here from Forvis Mazars.
Thank you very much, Chair. The purpose of the report is to present members Forvis Mazars Audit Strategy Memorandum that outlines their approach to auditing the authority's 23-24 financial statements. The memorandum considers the risks, materiality and other matters Forvis Mazars have identified in their audit approach and the value for money work to be carried out. Before I pass to Simon Livesey to take members through the audit strategy, I would like to just highlight paragraphs 7 and 8 on page 10. According to the government, the local audit system in England is broken and the backlog of outstanding unaudited accounts is likely to be around 1,000 later this year, with some outstanding audits dating back to 2015 and 16. The government recently laid legislation before Parliament to amend the Accounts and Audit Regulations to set a series of backstop dates. An authority must publish its approved statement of accounts by, and those that are applicable to Merseyside Fire and Rescue Authority are detailed in paragraph 7. The government also amended the date by which the authority should publish draft unaudited accounts from the 31st of May to the 30th of June for financial years 24-25 through to 27-28. As the Chair said, Simon Livesey, the authority's Assistant Audit Manager, will now take members through the Forvis Mazars audit strategy. Over to you, Simon.
Good afternoon, everybody. We'd originally intended that the partner for Forvis Mazars, Karen Murray, would be here today, but unfortunately she's double booked and on another audit committee as we speak. So she'd asked the audit manager, Katie Kingston, to come and present. Unfortunately, Katie's tested positive for COVID this morning, so I think it was too appropriate for her to pop along today. So I suppose that means I'm third choice, does it? Anyway, let's go through this. It's our audit strategy memorandum for the accounts for the year ended March 24. It's basically our plan of audit. It ought not to look any different to anything you've seen before, particularly from our predecessor auditors, because we're all working under the same guidance. So it should look fairly similar to what you've seen before. I don't think there'll be anything in there that you won't have seen before. Through it, I don't intend spending a lot of time going through this, but I'm happy to take any questions at the end that you might have. We move through to page 5 shows it's page 5 on my print, it might not be on yours. To move on to the engagement and responsibilities summary, that tells you the way in which we conduct the audit, the guidance we get from public sector audit appointments, and the Code of Audit Practice, which is published by the National Audit Office, and that's basically the guidance we follow. Moving on to the next page, we give an opinion on whether we believe the accounts are materially accurate. Our materiality is covered later in the document. That means, as well as looking at the accounts, we're always constantly alert to the possibility of any fraud. One of our key responsibilities. You're responsible for the internal controls to prevent that, but we would do an assessment of those internal controls to make sure that we're as well. We report, as it says, to the NAO when you do a further submission. I don't know if you do a WGA submission. Yes, you do a WGA submission. So we have to check that because that's actually presented to the NAO, who pulled together financial statements for all public sector bodies in the UK, which is quite a task for them, I'm sure, but up to the NAO. And then the further objective is around value for money. We'll cover that a little bit further on in the report as well. The audit team, I'll skip on from that. I told you got third choice and that proves it. So. Into the audit scope and the approach. The approach is around us assessing what we think the risks are in terms of the possibility of the figures that appear in the accounts aren't accurate. So we'd say, well, which of those areas, from our perspective, and maybe from your perspective as well, are key risk areas might go wrong. So that's our focus predominantly. There's basic work we do, but we'd also pick out some areas which we call significant risks, where we would look to do a little bit more work within those areas. The next page shows within a diagram how the audit is conducted. So we would start at 12 o'clock and we'd get an understanding of your business, which would be largely looking through things like your governance arrangements and how the systems hang together. Then plan our audit, and this is the document that shows our plan. We do our risks of all the areas in the accounts to consider those where we think there might be a greater risk of material misstatement. Then we conduct the work, and the work is starting fairly shortly. I think we're due to be out here next week, so things will get underway quite quickly, and it's our intention, obviously, to get through this as quickly as we possibly can. Don't want to labour on backlogs and the rest of it. That's another issue altogether. There's no intention that that will come into play here, and we'll just get through the audit smoothly and quickly. It's lost words, that, isn't it? So, but yes. And then we'll form our conclusion. There's a bit of a timeline on the next slide. We've already done a little bit of our planning, hence we produced these documents. And our interim work will start, as we said, next week. I don't want to go through all the details, but The first thing we would be doing is having a detailed look at the systems that actually produce the figures. So it's the systems that feed into the ledger and produce the figures which ultimately appear in your accounts. Our next piece of work will be doing more substantive work around testing individual figures in the accounts. Once we've got draft financial statements and start going through those, we'll start to pick out all the areas and plan the work that we need to do to get assurance on each of those areas in the accounts. That largely will rely on the quality of the working papers that were given by officers. Queries on things. I mean, basically, if your audit working papers are fantastic, you won't see much of us. We'll just be happily sat away in a dark room ticking figures off. So, but there will undoubtedly be things where we'll need to ask further questions. So that's where we'll have the sort of to address those issues. Then the intention is that our work will be completed by the end of November. I think it might be completed more quickly than that, hopefully. That's just a final date with the the intention is the whole audit will be signed off in December. So that's the plan. But I think you're going to see us around over the next month or so to do most of the work. We take account of any external expertise that you've used to produce the accounts. The two key areas are largely around pensions and valuation of property, plant and equipment. That is absolutely the same as nearly every other operating country and NHS. Huge numbers, and we assess them as greater risk anyway because with the numbers being so large, there's always potential for something, even if it's only what appears to be a relatively minor error, it could potentially have a significant effect. So that's where we'll focus quite a lot of our work. You use experts for both pensions. We use experts in the same areas. So the NAO nationally engage PwC to do some work on pensions, and they look at work that's provided by various of the major actuaries in the country and consider whether the assumptions they've made and the work they've done is reasonable. For PPE, we have the option, we've got our own internal estate, it calls himself real estate, I think he's American, our own real estate valuation team. That's only if we find something that looks really, really complicated or unusual, where we feel we need expert help as well. From our perspective, we're not valuers. Some areas of valuations that can be more complicated than others. So if need be, we would fall back on that expertise. I think our initial intention at the moment is that we may not need to use them at all. We mentioned service organisation, your treasury management and internal audit services from Liverpool City. We don't rely directly on work that's done by internal audit, so we can't access their working papers and look through the detail of what they've done. But what we would do is take account of the work they've done. So if internal audit said they'd found something that they thought was significant, then obviously we're not just going to walk away and forget about it. We're going to have a look at that area as well. what's coming out of those. I think in terms of our materiality, it's a difficult one because sometimes something that sounds quite important and is, from an internal audit perspective, we are only looking at whether that could potentially impact significantly the accounts, and those could be two completely different things. So it might be that internal audit finds something quite important and we say, yes, it is important, but it won't affect what we do. Significant risks. So we go through your accounts, our understanding of your organisation, and decide what we think the significant risks are where we need to look into. The first one, and this is a standard one across virtually every organisation, be it public sector, private sector, it's a standard risk, it's management override of control. So this is where potentially management have the opportunity to decide they don't like the figures in the accounts and they're going to change them effectively. So the means of doing that would be either around journal adjustments in the ledger or the way that they've actually processed estimates through the accounts. So we'd be looking closely at those estimates to make sure that we are happy with the judgment that management have made. And in terms of journals, we'd be looking at large unusual journals that have been posted through the ledger to make sure that we're happy with those as well. So that's one particular focus, and with no alternative but to do that as a piece of work. We have to do that on every audit. So if I was sat in front of a limited company director, I'd still be saying we're doing that same piece of work. It's the same for every set of accounts that we produce. We've mentioned pensions. Large numbers which have significant impact on the accounts. It's been a minefield, this area, for a number of years now. And various challenges which we've had to overcome, and in fairness, it's been one of the key areas that's resulted in firms falling behind on that one. It's been trying to deal with a lot of challenges. I think most of them have been resolved now. We had a situation in a lot of local councils last year where, for the first time, their pension position was an asset rather than a liability, which hadn't happened before for a long time. So there was a lot of work done to actually look at that in more detail and see what should or shouldn't be disclosed in the accounts. One of the problems with pensions is it's a moment in time calculation by the actuary. The day after it could be completely different. So that's one of the issues that we need to take into account. So we'll be relying on the information that comes from the actuary that you've used to populate your accounts. As I say, we have the backup of this review that's done nationally by PwC to look at many of the big actuaries to see whether they're happy with the results. Moving on, valuation of land and buildings. This piece of work has expanded significantly in recent years, largely driven by a challenge from the Financial Reporting Council. We are subject to review. Our work is reviewed annually by the FRC, and they have asked auditors and authorities to do much more work in terms of being confident that the figures they're showing in the accounts, particularly around whether buildings valuations are accurate, and using the latest information. And there's a minefield of assumptions that valuer use, some of which are judgmental, obviously, by the nature, and others which are factual. So we have that to address the challenges coming from the FRC. We've had significant difficulties encountered with unexpected delays, so saying this is where we are in case, and if we did encounter any difficulties, we'd come back and tell people. Comes to fruition, so. And then BFM arrangements. Required to do piece of work. It's in the code of practice that we follow. The main focus of our work is around the financial sustainability, so it's your financial position, your medium-term financial strategy, and also around your governance arrangements. There's a catch-all at the bottom that just covers improving economy, efficiency and effectiveness. I think at this stage, from the risk assessment we've done, I think the focus of our work will be predominantly really around the top two issues, financial sustainability and governance. But our risk assessment is an ongoing process. We don't do it now, put it away. It's updated continually by what we find as we go through the audit. So there may or may not be other issues that emerge that we feel we need to have a look at. Fees for the audit. I think we'll skip over that page. I'm not party to how the fees are determined. I think most of them are determined nationally. So we're likely told what the fee is going to be. We confirm our independence. None of the people working on the audit will have any association or relationship with people working here. We like to keep our work as objective as we possibly can. And that's a requirement of the audit code as well. Materiality, there's a bit of blurb that explains what we're doing in terms of trying to set our materiality, but it's our materiality level that actually determines the amount of work we need to do, the insurance we need to get, all the figures in the accounts. So these figures might look enormous to you, but our overall materiality level is £2.5 million. Our actual work will be pitched at a lower level, which is called performance materiality, which is £1.5 million. So what we're basically saying is that if your accounts were within £1.5 million, the figure we think should be, or less than £1.5 million, we don't believe that's going to alter view of a person reading the accounts. So around the reader of the accounts, this mythical person who gets copies of your accounts and spends weeks going through them. And it's really around saying, well, what level would an error or mistake have to be to make it different, or have different view on the figures that are in there. So we're saying we'll work to look at that. So if we find anything, and the other thing is we have something that's called a clearly trivial level, £75,000. If we find anything, any errors over £75,000, to report them to this committee. So anything over 75,000 where, whether it's adjusted or management decide not to adjust, we're required to come back to this committee and say, these are the only area where we go down to a lower level is around senior officer remuneration. All of the figures are shown in bands, and we believe that's quite a politically sensitive area. So we would look at that in more detail and make sure that whatever's shown in there as the remuneration is within the correct band. If it was a few pounds out and it was still in the same band, we're not going to make a comment. But if it's such a large area that it would move them from one banding to another, then as it says here, we'll come back to you with a list of all the adjusted misstatements, anything you decided not to adjust, and any other alterations in the accounts which may be around wordings where we've asked for more detail to be put into the narrative parts of the account, or just disclosures. Disclosures which don't affect the actual statements as such, but we feel it's important that they should be adjusted. So, key communication points. We've started, we've given you our audit strategy memorandum. The next communication, fairly quickly, hopefully, will be the audit completion report, which will pull together all the findings of the audit. And that will be followed by the auditor's annual report, which also includes information about the VFM. Pulls all our work for the whole year together. Our audit completion report will largely be our comments on the accounts. I think I've been through most of this in terms of key communication. It just shows communications and how we would make that communication to you. Shows some updates around the accounting and auditing standards. I don't think this will be of too much interest to everybody. I'm not actually proposing to go through those at this stage. That's more things that we'll be looking at and management will already have addressed and some things that are coming down the line. Like changes in the way you disclose lease information, which is a really big one. There's been a whole change in terms of the requirements for disclosures around lease arrangements. That is going to be quite a significant piece of work to get that information ready. It's required 24/5 onwards, but I think you've got an option in 23/4 going to change the way that things are presented in the statements. Not actually changing lease arrangements, it's just the way that information is drawn out from those agreements. And I think at that stage I'll shut up. So if anybody's got any questions at all, please.
I was going to say thank you, Simon, for essentially setting out your stall, or for this Mazars stall. Thank you for taking us through it in such detail. Do any members have any questions?
I'd like to thank you for that. It was easy for you to follow. I appreciate that. Thank you.
I mean, our remit is to safeguard public money, and we're all satisfied that, well, it's all theoretical, isn't it? But the action plan is adequate for risks. I mean, there's nothing there for us to really get our teeth into at the moment. There was just one question on page 7. I wanted to just check that
I think just in terms of the actual time and the actual audit, so the audit, as you're aware, should have been completed by the end of September. So in terms of, we produce ours by the end of May, and most audits would normally be finished if it wasn't for the backlog by that time. And I think we're confident in terms of the timings that we should be in a position to present the audited statement of accounts in December.
Look forward to that. Can we please approve the recommendation as set out on page 9? Yes. Agreed. Lovely, thank you. Should I read it out? Yeah, the next meeting will be Thursday, 6th of February 2025. Thank you all for your attendance. Oh, sorry.
That will probably be the meeting that we actually present the accounts at.
So after December.
Yes, we'll all be done and dusted.